Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe!
Hey and welcome to Weekly Tips, where we put some sense in your tip jar. Welcome today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and we are going to be painting a lion's head. So let's roar on into this and paint this lion's head. I first get my drawing, and this is a drawing that was done in a previous video drawing the lion's head, so go check that out. I go over drawing the lion's head, drawing at a few angles. This is a front-on view that I do it, and I'm deciding to turn this drawing into a painting, and for all you guys to see and to show you kind of my painting style sometimes and some techniques in painting this line. Now, I fix up the drawing as I go. Just trying to get rid of any little mistakes and fix up anything extra. Just, playing around and making sure things are working. And from there, I start to add in a bit of dark tones and light tones slowly. You can, if you want, you could do a three-tonal study. I do recommend doing them sometimes. They are really good just to initially understand, where the dark tones, light tones. Those are only three tones to use though: white, black, and grey. So it is challenging, but it does really, show you everything, the important parts of your subject you are drawing and everything like that. However, I went into a full tonal study. Yeah, it's just the decision I made to do a full tonal study from there. So yeah, I start to slowly, um, add in some highlights, add in some dark tones, fix up the face as I go, fix up the fur, all sorts of things I am working on here, slowly just going all over the place. Um, it seems like a little bit of nonsense to begin with. You're just kind of jotting down little ideas here and there, of where things are, the tones of how things are fitting into each other, the relationship between all these other tones, and trying to work things out. As you can see, I am using a little bit dark tones to kind of show that um, color shift, I guess, that hue shift that happens in his fur. He's got like these like eyebrows there. Now this is kind of, I guess, a mistake in a way, um, because it actually isn't that dark. It is like it is a little bit darker, but it's not that dark. That tone there. And that's always kind of a note to have, with hue shifts and things like that. Not to kind of, when you're doing this whole step, is not to say if it's brown, not to just use a darker tone to show that, to portray that, because when you do get into color, then you have to fix it up. However, I did leave it there, just because I was fixing other things up, and I was like, well, when I come to color, I'm going to fix that up, and you'll see me fix that up. Um, yeah, from there, I find the major dark tones and the major light tones from here. And you can see me kind of jot down the fur. I'm kind of placing strokes everywhere. I'm just kind of making a mess, I guess, at the moment. I'm just trying to put in some highlights and where the grain tones are, and try to understand the tones a little bit better. But as I start to push forward, you can see me kind of fix up the fur a little bit more, and you can see me kind of break the fur up into kind of these chunks. If you look at um, the fur here, it definitely, you can break it up into little chunks of fur pieces, and that's a good way to go. Break your hair up, your fur up into chunks, and then slowly add. You don't have to paint every little fur, every little detail. And that's another good reason why I decided to do this painting is because it has a lot of hair and fur and you know, a mane. So I really wanted to, that's another reason why I wanted to do it, to study that and understand fur a little bit better. Because it's one of the things that I do paint a lot, but I still feel like it is challenging, and I still got a bit to learn about it, um, and how to kind of paint fur and paint lion's mane fur, things like that. Um, but yeah, I try my best with this thing, this painting, and you can see that I've broken it up a little bit, and um, yeah, try to understand what's going on in the whole piece. Once I've understood the tones a little bit better, then I use a color layer and just color in that layer to make it that color, the color of the fur. From there, on that color layer, I add in a few hue shifts where it changes its color, whether it's more gray colors or yellow colors or more orange. I just added a little bit more variety in there, as you can see. And then, once I've done that variety a little bit, I then do an extra color layer on top from there. And that's usually the way I go. I do a kind of full tonal study there that I did. And then from that full tonal study, I then, you know, place some color on top, and then start to paint in color. Um, and this, for me, works really well. You can get away with doing a full tonal um, color painting, and then, use color on top, but you'll still have those little issues that come along, the hue shifts, um, as well as, some colors might not translate to that exact tone perfectly. you know, um, but surely if you have a really good tonal study, you should be able to just basically place color on top of it, and it should convert pretty good. There is, some things that happen and occur that you will have to paint on top with color, just to kind of finish it off. Now, you would have seen me before, I painted the whiskers. Now, with the whiskers, I just do a kind of a quick stroke. And with some of them, what you want to do is actually have it the color, say, of the fur, or, your gray, kind of gray area colors. Um, not all the whiskers should be white, you should have some of the color coming off of it, because they're see-through whiskers, and they do um, carry some color sometimes of the surroundings that they have. So it's a little trick that I did with the whiskers there. But the whiskers are the last little bits. For me, I did about midway, um, where, I remember, like, traditional pieces, it's the last thing you ever do is the whiskers. But I like to see the whiskers to fully make sure that this, it's actually working. That's the last little bit. If the whiskers look good, um, sometimes I add the whisker, it's like, oh no, it's not too great, I've got to rework it, redo it, there's something wrong here. Yeah, it's the last little telling point for me, sometimes. So, hopefully you've enjoyed seeing me paint this thing. This has been my process. Hopefully, you have fun painting this line. Hopefully you understood everything I was trying to explain, everything like that. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Um, this what took me about an hour and 20-ish minutes. It didn't take it, so it's not too long per se. I could have really pushed it a little bit further, gone for a whole 90-minute art challenge thing again. But yeah, I definitely could work on it more, but I thought that at this point I basically got what I want from the image, and I could redo it or I could keep painting on it if I wanted to um, really, you know, really polish it off. But I got what I needed out of it, and that's what's important. Just understand things. Had fun practicing with that fur. I think I learned a little bit here about doing fur and what I could use when I push forward um, in my career and things like that. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Keep creating, everyone. Keep drawing, and see you in the next video.